Hi dear Python enthusiasts, welcome back to our Python series. Today we are kicking off a new topic that's crucial in the world of programming. Object-oriented programming, or OOPS for short. So what's OOP all about? Well, in Python, just like in many programming languages, OOPS is a powerful paradigm that revolves around the concept of objects. These objects are essentially instances or classes which act as blueprints for creating them. Each object contains data, attributes, and methods, which is function, that operate on that data. Now, why should you care about OOPS in Python? It's a great question. OOPS brings a whole host of benefits to the table. It allows for better organization of code, making it more modular, reusable, and easier to maintain. With concepts like inheritance and polymorphism, you can extend and customize classes to suit your specific needs, saving time and effort in the long run. So, in this Python series, we are diving deep into the world of OOPS. We will cover everything from classes and objects to inheritance, encapsulation, and polymorphism. Plus, we will sprinkle in some practical examples and projects along the way to help solidify your understanding. So whether you are a Python novice eager to learn the ropes or a seasoned developer looking to level up your skills, this series is for you. Get ready to unlock the full potential of Python with object-oriented programming. Let's dive in. So let's get start our today's session, which is object-oriented programming, or we can say that OOPS in Python. So let's get started and explore the fascinating world of object-oriented programming in Python. Get ready to take your Python skills to the next level. So guys, this is a human, and first this is our pen, and so guys, this is a human. Okay, and this human is called class, and its name is called objects. This is basic overview of object oriented programming, and its property, for example, its email and its address. This is its features, and it can verify and it can also send mails. So these are methods of this human. Similar to It's similar to object oriented programming. Okay. So in object oriented programming, OOPS includes the topics object, classes, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction also, and encapsulation also. So move to the concept. So here, introduction to object oriented programming. So what is object oriented programming? So introduction to object oriented programming in Python. In programming languages, mainly there are two approaches that are used to write program or code. So the first approach is procedural programming, and the second approach is object oriented programming, which is our today's topic. So the procedure we are following till now is the procedural programming. So what is procedural programming approach? The procedure we are following till now, this is called procedural programming. So in this session we will learn about object-oriented programming, OOP. The basic idea of object-oriented programming OOP in Python is to use classes and objects to represent real-world concepts and entities. Okay guys, so why we use object-oriented programming? To represent real-world concepts and entities. So what is class and what is object? So basically a class is a blueprint or template for creating objects. For example, it defines the properties and methods that an object of that class will have. Properties means properties are the data or state of an object and methods are the actions. So guys, what is property? So property are the data or state of an object. And what is method? So methods are the actions and behaviors that an object can perform, similar to this human. So its method is it can verify and it can send mails. And the class is, this human is a class and its properties email and address, and the name is its object. So similarly here object is an instance of class and it contains its own data and methods. For example, you could create a class called person that has properties such as name and age. So the properties of person such as name and age and methods such as the person can speak and the person can walk. Okay guys, so now each instance of the person class would be a unique object with its own name and age, but they would all have the same methods to speak and walk. Okay guys, so remember it, all have the same methods to speak and walk. So here are the key features of OOP. One of the key feature of OOPs in Python is encapsulation. So guys, what is encapsulation? We will cover it after some topics, which means that the internal state of an object is hidden and can only be accessed or modified through the object's methods. Okay, this helps to protect the object's data and prevent it from being modified in unexpected ways. So it can be modified in unexpected ways. Another feature of OOP is Python is inheritance, which allows new classes to be created that inherit the properties and methods of an existing class. This allows for code reuse and makes it easy to create new classes that have similar functionality to existing class. So guys, what is inheritance? Inheritance allows new class to be created that inherit the properties and methods of the existing class, and existing class means parents class. And the third one is polymorphism. So it's also very important topic. Polymorphism is also supported in Python, which means that objects of different classes can be treated as if they were objects of a common class. This allows for greater flexibility in code and makes it easier to write that can work with multiple types of objects. In summary, OOPs in Python allows developers to model real-world concepts and entities using classes and objects. Encapsulate data, reuse code through inheritance, and write more flexible code through polymorphism. So here are classes and objects. So what is class? This is school class? No guys, this is not school class, but it's similar to school class. For example, class is a blueprint or a template for creating objects, providing initial values for state, member variables or attributes, and implementations of behavior. Member functions or methods. The user-defined objects are created using the class keyword. Creating a class, let's now create a class using the class keyword. So guys, it's very important how to create class. First of all, what is class? Class is a blueprint or template. Okay guys, and how to create class? Using class keyword. So it's very important. We can create class using class keyword, and here are the example of class. So this is class keyword and this is class name. Okay guys, and here 4-line space which is indentation, and then you can create a variable name and its value Rohan, and the another variable is age and its value is 20. So guys, this name is variable, so this is, so in this way we can create variable and assign their value inside the class block. Okay guys, in this way we can create class. We can create a class. So creating an object. Object is the instance of the class used to access the properties of the class. Now let's create an object of the class. So guys, how to create objects of the upper class, this class. So how to create object of this class? So in this way, create a variable obj object1 and assign its value is details. So we can wrap this details function, or we can say that class, into an object. Okay, so this is called object and instance of the class. So this is also a variable, and in this way we can create object. So now guys, open your Jupyter notebook. So we will start our coding. So this is home page of Jupyter Notebook, and here click on new tab and then click on notebook to create a new file. Now click on select and we will rename this file oops in Python. How to create a class using class keyword. So the code is class details and then colon and then create a variable name equal to Rohan and then its age is 20 and then execute the code. So our code will execute. So in this way we can create class. For example, another class keyword and animal and name equal to Bruno and age equal to 10. Okay, so this is another class. Similarly, creating an object. So how to create object of this class? So object 1, this is variable and then details. So guys, this is details. So this is our object. In this way we can create any object. For example, object 2 equal to animal. This is another object. So guys, now we can print values. For example, class details. This is our class name and name equal to Rohan and its age equal to 20. Now creating an object. So object 1 equal to this class name, which is details. So here we will write details and then parenthesis and then we will print our object 1 dot name and then we will print object 1 dot age. So guys, in this way we can print our values. For example, object 1 dot. So in this way we can print this value name equal to Rohan and age equal to 20. So this is our output. Similarly, another example, for example, class animal and name equal to Bruno and its age equal to 10. Now creating an object. So how to create object? For example, object 1 equal to animals and then parenthesis, and now print obj and then dot sign and then your variable name. Similarly, print obj1 dot sign and your variable name. So here is the output. So we can write in the comment print then object name then dot then variable. Okay guys, similarly here, so now move to the next topic. So what is self parameter and why we use self parameter inside OOPS code? So the self parameter is a reference to the current instance of the class and is used to access variables. So we can use to access variables that belongs to the class. It must be provided as the extra parameter inside the method definition. So guys, remember here this is extra parameter. For example, here is the self parameter inside the method definition. So just code it and understand. Self parameter, mark down it and convert it into heading. Okay, now example. So first create a class called details and then inside it create a variable name and its values Rohan and age equal to 20. And then now we will create a creating self parameter. So def describe and inside describe we will pass our self parameter and then colon and then indentation and then print. So here now we want to print my name is and comma and then how to execute self. So we execute self like this, self dot name and then and I am and again self dot age. In this way we can call our name and our age and years old. Now creating an object. So how to create object? As we know that first create a variable object1 and then wrap this class into this variable details, and then how to call this self parameter. So object 1 dot desc, this is its defined function name, and now we will execute our code. So in this way we can print values using self parameter. So here is the self parameter, and inside self parameter you can print that you want to do, and how to print using self dot name, and again using dot sign and self dot age, and then creating a variable object equal to, this is class name, and object dot one, this is our this define function. So move to the next topic, which is constructors. So what is constructors? So a constructor is a special method in class used to create and initialize an object of a class. There are different types of constructors. Constructor is invoked automatically when an object of a class is created. A constructor is a unique function that gets called automatically when an object is created of a class. The main purpose of a constructor is to initialize or assign values to the data members of that class. Okay, so the main purpose of this constructor is to initialize or assign values to the data members of that class. It cannot return any value other than none. So here is the syntax of constructor. So this underscore underscore init underscore underscore, this is called constructor. Okay, so in this way we can also create our constructor. So what is this init sign? So this init is one of the reserved functions in Python. In object-oriented programming, it is known as constructor. Types of constructors in Python. So there are two types of constructors in Python. First one is parameterized constructor, and the second one is default constructor. So just open your Jupyter notebook and start coding. So here we will write our code. So def keyword and then underscore underscore init, and then pass self colon, and here initialization. So this is the syntax of constructor. Why it shows error? So guys, this is not complete code, so it show error, but we will comment it. And here we write our complete code. So the first type is parameterized constructor in Python. When the constructor accepts arguments along with self, it is known as parameterized constructors. These arguments can be inside the class to assign the values to the data members. For example, so this is our heading. Now we will create a class first. Okay, so first we will create our class, and the class name is details, and inside it we will create a function def, and then this is our constructor init underscore underscore init underscore underscore, and then pass our self parameter, and then animal. Guys, this is features of this class, and then group. So here this self parameter is a extra parameter, and then self dot animal equal to animal. Similarly, self dot group equal to groups. Okay, now we will create an object. So object 1 equal to detail, and then here crab. What is the name of the animal? Crab, and its group is crustaceans. So guys, crustacean is a group of crab. Now close parenthesis, and now we will print our methods. For example, object 1, and then a dot sign, and then animal, and then we can also pass something. For example, belongs to the, and then again object 1 dot group. Now in this way we can print our parameterized constructor. So what is the error? So guys, here this is details, and this is our correct code. So guys, what is in this code? First we will create a class, and then inside it create define function, and then your methods, and then create an object, and then at last print their values. So this is our output. Similarly, what is default constructor in Python? So what is default constructor? When the constructor does not accept any arguments from the object and has only one argument, self, in the constructor, it is known as default constructor. For example, class details, and then create a function define and then pass constructor underscore underscore init underscore underscore and then self, and inside the self block you can print animal crab before to crustaceans group and then close it. Now create an object, and we know that now how to create object. So in this way we can also create default constructor in Python. So alright everyone, now that you have hopefully understood, let's take a closer look at this code. Okay guys, so move to our topic. So this is parameterized constructor in Python. When the constructor accepts an argument along with self, it is known as parameterized constructor. These arguments can be used inside the class to assign the values to the data members. And this is our code. In this code, first we will create a class and then pass our self parameter, and this is our constructor. And inside it, the details, features, which is animal and group, and then use this dot symbol. And similarly self dot group, and then create an object which is variable object1 and execute your code, and this is the output. So the second one is default constructor in Python. When the constructor does not accept any arguments from the object and has only one argument. So the one argument is self. In the constructor, it is known as self constructor. So in default constructor, there is only one argument and the argument is self. So similar to in this code, here only one argument, self. And then we will create a variable and then details equal to, and then this parenthesis sign, and after making this code, execute your code, and here is the output. Animal crab belongs to crustaceans group. So in this way you can also print your default constructors. So this is default constructor, and we will mark it. This is important. Okay, so the next topic is inheritance in Python, and it is very important. Very important I am, and then P. So guys, this is very important topics in object-oriented programming, and this is very useful for us. So what is inheritance? When a class derives from another class, the child class will inherit all the public and protected properties and methods from the parent class. In addition, it can have its own properties and methods. This is called as inheritance. So in inheritance, class derives from another class, and the derived class is called child class, will inherit all the properties and protected properties and methods from the parents class. So this is parent class. So here are the syntax. Here is the syntax, Python inheritance syntax. Class base class, and this is class base, and inside this class body of class base class, and after this is derived class, and here you pass your parent class. This is parent class and this is child class, and then pass your body of derived class. So this derived class is inheritance. So this derived class is your inheritance, and this is parent class. What is this? Parent. So this is parent class, and this is child class. So derived class inherits features from the base class, where new features can added to it. This results in reusability of code. So we can reusable our code using this derived class. So here are types of inheritance. So the first type is single, multiple, multi-level, hierarchical, and hybrid inheritance. So now move to the next topic. So alright everyone, now you have hopefully understood. So this is single inheritance. Single inheritance enables a derived class to inherit properties from a single parent class, thus enabling code reusability and the addition of new features to existing code. For example, this is parent class, and then use define function. This is def keyword, and this is our function name, and here 4-line indentation, and here also 8-line indentation. Then print, you can write here that you want to print, and then your child class. So class child, and then inside it this is parent class, and then def function to self. This is self parameter. Guys, note that this self is a parameter, and then again print that you want to do, and then creating an object. So how to create object? As we know that object equal to child class, and then this parenthesis sign. So object dot function 1 and object dot function 2. In this way we can call our methods, and then this is the output. This function is in parent class and this function is in child class. So alright everyone, now that you have hopefully understand. So let's take a close look at this code. So we will erase it. Now go to the Jupyter notebook and we will code it. So alright everyone. So topic is inheritance in Python. Just mark down it and then press shift plus enter. And now syntax of inheritance. So here you will write class and this is base class. Then your body of base class, then make another class derived class, and inside derived class here you pass an parameter called base class and then colon sign, and then your pass your body of derived class. So this is the syntax, you just comment it. So the first type is, guys, note that derived class inherits features from the base class where new features can be added to it. This results in reusability of code. Okay guys. Single inheritance. So zoom in the screen and then we will write our code. So single inheritance enables a derived class to inherit properties from a single parent class, and it enabling code reusability and the addition of new features to the existing code. Okay, so here we will write our code. So now first create class which is parents, and then inside this parents class we will create a function def function 1 and then self. So guys, what is this function 1? This is our function name, and what is this parent? So this parent is our class name, parents class name, and then colon, and then print this function is in parent class. You can print anything here according to yourself that you want to do. Then class, so this is our child class, def and function 2 and then self, and now again print this function is in child class. Okay, now for better understand, now creating an object. So object equal to child and object dot function 1 equal to dot function 1 and object dot function 2. Now we will execute our code and see the output. So this is our output. So okay guys, let's take a closer look at this code. Okay, so first we will create a class which is parents class, and then define our function, and then we will create a child class, and again we will define our function which is function 2, and then we will create a object. So creating an object, and then object equal to child. This child, we pass our child function here, child class, and then object dot function 1, and then call object dot function 2. In this way the code will execute, and print this function is in parent class. Here is the output, and the second function is this function is in child class. So here is the second output. So in this way we can create more single inheritance. Now move to the next topic, which is multiple inheritance. Now make heading. Go to this tab, click on markdown, and just make your heading. So now, alright everyone, now that you have hopefully understood what is single inheritance, it inherit properties from single parents class. Okay, now move to the next topic. So the next topic is multiple class, multiple inheritance. So basically when a class can be derived from more than one base class, this type of inheritance is called multiple class. For better understand, we will code it, but before coding, just read this example. So here is parents class, which is class mother, and here is the mother name, and then pass your define function def mother, and this is self parameter. So this is our self parameter, and this is our parents class, parent class. So this is our parent class. Okay, and then print self dot mother name, and then another class which is father class, and here is the father name. Okay, and then create a function, define father and then self parameter. So this father is function name, this is function name, and this is self keyword. Guys, note that self is keyword. Okay, and then class son, make another class, and the class name is son, and then inherit the properties of mother and father both. So this is called multiple class. Okay, and then again pass yourself parameter and define function, and then you can print anything here. For example, print father name is and self dot father name, and then again print mother name and then self dot mother name, and then creating an object s1 equal to son. So what is this? This is our object. So this is our object. Okay, and calling the methods s1 dot father and s1 dot mother, and then s1 dot parents, and then run this code, and the output will appear on your screen. So this is the output. Father name is mommy and mother name is daddy. Okay guys, so let's code and open your Jupyter notebook. So here is multiple class. Now we will create a code of multiple class. So first we will create class mother, and then here is the mother name. Okay guys, and then define a function def mother self, and then print self dot mother name, and then class father, and then this is another class father, and here is the father name. Okay, and then again define a function for your father class, def father self, and then you can print self.father name, and then class son, and then mother, and then father. So this is class of son, and it inherit the property of mother and father. So if the son inherit the property of only mother, then it is called single class, and if the son is also inherit the property of only father class, so this is also called single class. But in this code, the son class inherit the property of both mother class as well as father class. So these type of classes are called multiple inheritance. Okay, and then create your function def parents self, and then print father name is self dot father name, and then print your mother name, and then calling the method self dot mother name, and then creating an object. So how to create object? For example, create a variable and wrap your class into this variable. So s1 equal to son, and then s1 dot mothtr mother name and equal to. So guys, here we pass a blank mother name, and also here we pass blank father name. But here we assign mother name, and also we assign its father name. So pass father name equal to, I think this is father name, and this is mother name. So mother name is mommy, and the father name is daddy, D and double dy. And then call your methods s1 dot parents. So guys, here is the output. Father name is daddy and mother name is mommy. So this is very large code but logical code, and this is very easy code guys, not very tough. You just create a parents class and then another parents class, and then create child class, and then call its methods, and here pass the property of father and mothers, and creating an object, and this is calling father method from father class, and change mother name to mother name is. So guys, and then calling mother method from mother class, and here is the output. So alright everyone, now that you have hopefully understood, let's take a closer look at this code. and this is single inheritance code. Let's take a closer look at this code also. So guys, move to the last topic, which is polymorphism. So guys, this is our last topic of today's session. Just where is our article? Okay guys. So polymorphism in Python. So what is basically polymorphism? In Python, it allows objects of different data types to be treated as objects of a common interface. Okay, so in Python, it allows objects of different data types to be treated as objects. One common way to achieve polymorphism in Python is through methods overriding in inheritance. So now we will understand the definition. Now we will understand this code. So what this code says. Here is the parents class def animal class animal, and then creating a define function, and you can pass here something, okay, and then create another. This is child class. First we will erase it, and what is this? This is our parents class. So we will write here parent class. So this is our parent class, and this is our child class. So this is child class. What is the spelling of child, guys? CHILD, and class. So now we understand what is parent and what is child. But here it is another child class, and now polymorphic function. So what is polymorphic function? Here defining a function def animal says, and here you can pass your parent class. So this is your parent class, and then creating an object dog equal to dog and cat equal to cat function, okay, and then you can print your function, and here is the output. So here below one more line code, print animal says cat and output is meow, and print animal says dog and output is wolf. So this is polymorphism, and what is in this code here, both the dog and cat class have a speak method, but they implement it differently. The animal says function can accept any object that has a speak method, demonstrating polymorphism. So guys, open your Jupyter notebook and we will code it. So let's take a closer look to its code and its definition. Okay guys, alright everyone, now that you have hopefully understood, now on Jupyter Notebook first we will create a heading which is polymorphism, and then mark down it. So this is more polymorphism, and here we will write our code. So first create a class, and the class name is animal, and create a define function. So def speak, create a function and self, and just write here pass, and then class dog, and then animal, and then def speak, and this is self parameter, and then you can return something here. For example, this animal sound is woof, and then we will create another class, and the class name is cat, animal, and def speak, self, and then return meow, and then polymorphic function, and this is guys y polymorphic. And now we know that how to create polymorphic function. Now here def animal, and this is function name, and here you pass your animal which is parents class, and then return animal, so the animal can speak, so speak, and then creating an object dog equal to dog, and then cat equal to cat. Now what we do, we will print, so print animal says dog. So guys, the output of this code is, this line is output woof, and then print animal says cat. So the output of this line is, here is the output, so cat, the cat voice is meow, and the dog voice is woof. So here is our output. So please, let's take a closer look at this code also. So alright everyone, now that you have hopefully understood what is polymorphism and how to write its code, so it's very important topic also, and inheritance is also very important topic. So now what is in this code? First we will create a parents class and then create another child class and then create another child class. So the parent class is animal and the child class is dog and the another child class is cat, and here dog inherit the property of animal class and here cat inherit the property of animal class. Okay, both inherit the property of animal class, and then you will pass your define function. So speak and pass your self parameter. Okay, so this is default inheritance, this is default constructor in Python. Okay, and then here also pass define function and pass again define function, and the voice of dog is woof sound and meow can meow sound. And here is the polymorphic function. So what polymorphic function says, the animal says animal, return animal dot speak. Okay, so it return animal dot speak means this animal dot speak meow and woof. Now wrap this dog function in dog class in dog object and cat in cat object. Okay, and then you will print your methods and then print animal says cat. So this line, this is the output of this line and this is the output of this print function. And when you run your code, so this is your output. Okay guys, alright everyone, now that you have hopefully understood, let's move to the next topic. Now we will solve some questions. Practice question of oops. So just mark down it and so the first question is create a Python program to make a calculator using oops concept. So guys, how to make calculator using oops concept? So here first we will create a calculator class. Okay, so first we will create a class and the class name is calculator. Then we will define add and pass here self parameter, and then we want to add two numbers. So the number is x and y, and then it will return x plus y, and similarly we can define subtract class. Okay, so subtract and then again self parameter, and we want to subtract two numbers. So x minus y and then return x minus y. Okay guys, and then we want to multiply two numbers, so multiply. Guys, note that these all define functions. The functions are inside this block, this calculator block. Okay, so please indent it and don't confuse. So now here pass self, and then we want to multiply two numbers, so x comma y, and here not minus sign, this is comma, and then return x multiply y. Okay guys, now we also want to divide two number. For example, def divide, and then self comma x comma y. And then here return x, and what is the symbol of divide? So forward slash. Now creating an object. Okay, so how to create object? As we know that how to create object. Now calc equal to calculator. So guys, let's take a closer look to this code. This is not complete code, this is half code. First we will create a class, and the class name is calculator, and then inside this class define your function, and then creating an object. So we will call our methods, and then here calling the functions. So how to calling the function? So result equal to, or we can also write result add equal to calc dot add, and then we want to add two numbers, for example 5 and 3, and then print addition result, and then result underscore subtract 10 comma 4, subtraction. And again similarly in this way you can print this function. So result equal to result subtract, so calc dot subtract, and then we want to subtract 10 and 4, and then print subtraction result, and then comma result. So its output will 6, and the output of this line will 8. Okay, 10 minus 4, which is 6. And then multiplication. So result multiply minus calc dot multiply 7 comma 2, and then print multiplication result, and then comma, and then result dot multiply, and then bracket. So the output of this code is 7 multiplied by 2, which is 14. Okay guys, and then next operator is division operator. So similarly, result add, result subtract, result multiply, we will create inside division. So result divide minus calc dot divide. So here we again minus result divide minus by calc dot divide, and then 4, and then print division result, and the result divide, and its output will output 5.0. So guys, note that divide gives the answer in decimal points. So this is float number, and now we will execute our code. So guys, this is the output. So first we will create a calculator class, and then functions, and then we will create an object, and then addition, and then subtraction, and then create multiplication, and then create division, and this is the output. So 5 plus 3, which is 8, and 10 subtract by 3, sorry 4, which is 6, and 7 multiply by 2, which is 7 2 14, and the last one is 20, and 4 division result, which is 5. So alright everyone, now that you have hopefully understood, let's take a closer look at this code. So alright everyone, now that you have hopefully understood, this is the output. So move to the next question. So the next question is also very large, but this is easy question. So then this question is inheritance question. So what we do in this question? So guys, what is inheritance? As we know that inheritance is a fundamental concept in object-oriented programming OOPs that allows a class to inherit attributes and methods from another class. This promotes code reusability and stabilizes a parents-child relationship between class. Okay guys, now first, what we do, this Python code demonstrate inheritance, which is a key feature of object-oriented programming. Okay guys. So guys, note guys, parents class also known as base class or super class. So here def init, this is constructor as we know that, and then we will pass self comma name, and then self dot name equal to name. Guys, this question is similar to the upper inheritance question, which is woof and meow. And where is the question? So guys, this question is similar to this question. Okay, it's polymorphism, but this is inheritance question. And then we will write here def speak self, and that then return unknown sound. So guys, in the speak function we want to return unknown sound. And then child class, also known as derived class or subclass. And here class dog and pass parent class. Guys, this code is for your practice, so you will better understand. And then create a function speak self, and then we want to return the sound woof. And then here another class which is cat and animal, and then def speak self, and then return the sound meow. Okay, and then we want to create instances, so now we will create instances of child classes. So how to create instance? Create a variable dog and then wrap this class into this variable dog body, and then cat equal to cat, which is whiskers. Now we will calling the speak method of each instances of each instance. Now here print dog name plus, and then dog dot speak, and output is buddy says woof, and then we will print the next code. So cat dot name. How to print methods? So how to call methods? Using this dot symbol, cat dot and then name. Now space and says and cat dot speak, and here is the output. So the output is whiskers says. So what whiskers says? We want to whiskers say meow. So now we will execute our code, and here is the output appear on your screen. So alright everyone, now that you have hopefully understood this code also, let's take a closer look at this code. So I'm waiting, please take a closer look to this code. Okay guys, now we will understand this code, what this code says. So this Python program demonstrates inheritance, which is a key feature of object-oriented programming, which is OOP. Here's a breakdown of what the code does. Animal class. So here is the animal class. So this is the parent class or base class. It has an init method that initializes an instance of animal with a name attribute and a speak method that returns unknown sound. And then dog class. This is dog class. So this is a class, child class or subclass of animal. It inherits from animal, meaning it has all the attributes and methods of animal, but it can also have its own unique attributes and methods. It overrides the speak method to return woof instead of the default unknown sound. And then cat class. This is our cat class. So this class similar to the dog class. Cat is another class, subclass of animal. It also overrides the speak method to return meow. And then our calling methods. So calling methods, the speak method of each instance is called and the results are printed. Okay guys. Alright everyone. Since both dog and classes override the speak method, the output will reflect the overwritten behavior. Okay, so output will return the overwritten behavior. And what is creating an instances? So here we will create an instance. So two instances of the child class. First instance is dog. This is dog, and the second instance is cat. So this is cat. So this is instance. This is our instance, dog instance, cat instance, and these are our calling methods. So the speak method of each instance is called and the results are printed. Since both dog and cat classes override the speak method, the output will reflect the overridden behavior. So at last, the output will appear on your screen. This is the output will appear. Okay, so this is the output should appear on your screen. So what Buddy says? Buddy says woof because the speak method in the dog class returns woof. Whiskers say meow because the speak method in the cat class returns meow. This code demonstrates polymorphism where different classes share the same interface. In this case, the speak method but have different implementations. So guys, this is the overview of, not overview, this is the complete description of this code. So alright everyone, now that you have hopefully understood, let's take a closer look at this code. This is the output. So alright everyone, now that you have hopefully understood, let's move to the next question. Please have a look at this inheritance question. This is important question. Okay. So guys, we have one more question related to object-oriented programming. So the question is, design a class called rectangle to represent rectangles. It should have attributes length and width. Implement methods area to calculate the area. So guys, first I write this question and then we will read. So everyone, this is our question. Design a class called rectangle to represent rectangles. It should have attributes length and width. Implement methods area to calculate the area of a triangle and the perimeter to calculate its perimeter. Additionally, and the method is square, which returns true if the rectangle is a square, if length equals width, otherwise it returns false. So first we will make a class and the class name is rectangle. Then inside this class we will create a function using constructor underscore underscore init underscore underscore and then pass self parameter, and length and width are the attributes of this class. Then self dot length equal to length. So similarly self dot width for width and width. Now we will define another class. So we will create another function which is area and pass self parameter, and this function return self dot length multiply by self dot width. And now create one more function which is for parameter, and then inside it in this function pass self parameter, and this function, what returns this function return addition of length and width and then multiplication of 2. For example, the formula of parameter is 2 into length plus breadth. So this function return it. So how to write this function in code? So this is the formula of parameter and then self dot width. So the formula of parameter is 2 into length plus breadth. Okay guys, now there is one more function which is for square, then self parameter, and this function return self dot length which is equal to self dot width. So this function is for is square or not. Now we will create a object. We will create an object and rectangle, and inside it 4, 6, these are the values of this class. Now print area and then we will call methods. So rectangle dot area. So the output of this line will be, so here is the output. So the output will be 24. Similarly for parameter, friends, this is area and this is parameter. So this line returns parameter of rectangle. So rectangle 1 and use this dot sign and then pass perimeter. So perimeter means this function and then close bracket parenthesis and then, so guys, what is the output of this line? So rectangle 1, where is rectangle? So rectangle 1 is here, and where is area and parameter in this code? So this is area function and this function is for parameter. So what is the output? Output of this line will be 20 and then print is square. So again rectangle in this way we can call our methods. Rectangle dot is square, so the output is false. Okay guys, this is not a square. Similarly create another object and the object name is rectangle 2. Now this is our class guys, rectangle, and this is rectangle, and we want to pass values 5, 5. Okay, 5, 5 is good, and then print area. So rectangle 2 and then rectangle 2 dot area means this is our method, and this is we want to call our methods. So this is rectangle 2, and this is our area function. Similarly, perimeter. So again call this function rectangle 2 dot perimeter, and then again print the third one is square, and then apply method. So rectangle 2 dot is square, so the output of this line will be 25. Okay, so how 25? Because of this method call, this is 5 and this is 5, so 5 into 5, 25. Now output of this parameter. So what is the parameter formula? 2 into length plus breadth. So length, this is length, and this is breadth, or you can also say that width. So 2 into 5 plus 5 equal to 20. Okay guys, and the third one is output. So is square, yes, true. Square of 5 and 5 is 25, so both are same, so output is true. So similarly here, this is 2 into 4 plus 6, so 2 into 4 plus 6, 6 and 4, 6 plus 4, which is 10, 10 into 2, which is 20. And what is the area? So area equal to 4 into 6, so 6 into 4, which is 24. And is this the square of this? So no, so the square of 4 is 16 and the square of 6 is 36, and here the square of 5 is 25 and the square of this 5 is also 25, so this is same. Okay guys, now we will execute this code and see the output. So this is our output. Area is 24 and parameter is 20 and is a square false. So friends, this is for rectangle 1 object, and this is for rectangle 2 object, and output here and here will be same, and this is also 20, this is also false, so our answer is correct. Okay guys, and here also 25, here also 25, and this is 20 and this is also true, so our answer is correct. So in this way we can solve many questions using object oriented programming. So this is also very good question. So alright everyone, now that you have hopefully understand what is this question, how to solve this rectangle question, so let's take a closer look at this code. So okay guys, So this code defines a rectangle class with attributes for the length and width of the rectangle. It implements methods to calculate the area and perimeter of the rectangle, as well as a method to determine if the rectangle is a square. Finally, it demonstrates the uses of this class by creating instances of rectangle and calling its methods. So this is the explanation of this code. So these are the complete object-oriented programming. So guys, this is our note. Don't need to worry about this notes. I will provide all the notes with source code. So you will easily understand about OOPS. And this is introduction part and key feature of OOP, then class and objects. And we also know what is this inheritance. This is very important topic. How many types of inheritance? So these are the types of inheritance: single, multiple, multi-level, hierarchical, hybrid, and then single inheritance. And this is multiple inheritance. And what is polymorphism? So thank you guys. So alright everyone, I hope you now have a clear understanding of what OOPS is and why we use it. By completing this video, you have taken a big step towards becoming an expert in object-oriented programming, which is OOPS in Python. Keep practicing, exploring, and applying what you have learned, and soon you will be tackling even more advanced concepts with confidence. So, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video where we will continue our journey with Python mastery. So, till then, keep learning and keep exploring.